Hello and welcome to the Not Ready for Primetime Project. We're Gary Seath and Brad Robinson.
And you're not.
This week, Brad, we are doing something that we have never done before, but I'm really excited to do it.
Oh, prep?
No. And I, not prep, and I didn't even hit record when I should have, but that's okay. We'll get this someday, 160 episodes in. What we're doing this week, we have a gentleman who works with us. He helps us. He does our editing. His name is Will Bond. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Thanks for coming on. You know, Will helps us out and does a lot of post-production work for us and editing, and has taken a lot of stuff off of my plate in the last few months. And you know, he does it out of the kindness of his heart, really. And so what we wanted to do was, I think at the end of our credits for the last few months, we've talked about Will having his own podcast. Brad, are you familiar with this? Do you listen to the whole show?
What show is that?
Yeah, exactly. Our show. I've mentioned Will's podcast in the end credits of our show.
Yes.
And I thought it would be a really good idea for us. We're in this break period right now. I thought it would be good to talk to Will about his podcast that he does with his brothers, Reviewing Who, hosted by Will and his brothers Pat and Tom Bond. This is a podcast you guys have been doing for a while, right, Will?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. We do it pretty consistently, about once a week.
That's awesome. And how your brothers are younger than you, yeah?
Yeah, they're both 14.
Okay, awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to play one of Will's episodes, Brad, of Reviewing Doctor Who to let folks hear it, see what other work Will does with his post-production genius.
Unsurprisingly, I have no idea about Doctor Who. Go figure.
Do not take offense, Will. Brad doesn't know anything that happened after 1975, 75 to 80, unless it's related to Saturday Night Live. And I'm sure that they have done a Doctor Who sketch on Saturday Night Live, Brad.
Probably. Is he a magician? He's a magician.
He's an alien, technically.
Oh, and does it involve time travel?
It does involve time travel, time and space travel.
Is there a phone booth?
There is a phone booth. You're
Is
doing
there
great.
really?
Look
There
at
is,
you.
yeah.
Totally making a Bill and Ted reference. Does he have an assistant? He must have.
He
an
does,
assistant, a
pretty
sidekick.
consistently. Yes.
And he solves problems like riddle. Like he solves mysteries. Yes, is that it? Am I close?
It's less mysteries, but it's kind of Monster of the Week-y, different. It's problem solving. Yeah, it's kind of cognitive.
He's British, right? I know that.
He is British. Yes.
He's British.
British
I knew that. And they somehow, this has been on for how many years? Like decades, right? Like since the 60s?
Yeah,
of the show?
60-something years. Yeah.
And there's like a new doctor that is it the same dude? Like, how do I say this? Is it like James Bond where like different characters play the same James Bond, or is it like a new doctor?
There's more continuity than James Bond, so like it's still the same character and still like seasons take place after each other. It doesn't reset the story in any way, but they do replace the actor. I think we're on the 15th Doctor at this point in 2026, so there have been 15 or 16 different actors plus a bunch of extra bonus people. Oh, special episode, this person's playing the Doctor or whatever. Richard E. Grant or whatever.
Fun fact, I worked with a former Doctor Who. I didn't know that much.
Really? Who?
Matt Smith.
Oh, awesome. He was my favorite growing up.
Oh, look at that. See, you pretend like you don't know anything. And
That's how I knew he was British, is because I knew Matt. That's the only reason. Anyway, enough of me. Okay, cool. So Doctor Who, I think I'm caught up. Okay.
Yeah. So, Will, before we get into your episode, how did you and your brothers get into Doctor Who?
I started watching it when I was like 5 or 6. My parents just showed it to me, and we've been watching it ever since. Same with my younger brothers. My family are all pretty close, and we love watching TV together. It's only been the newer stuff since like 2005. That's where we jumped on. And we've always been aware that there's decades of earlier low-budget British sci-fi that's been going on before this, but have never really taken the time to dive into it. So we thought we want to, and we're interested in that, and we would love to check out all those seasons, whatever's going on there. But there had to be a reason for it, hence starting a podcast to kind of do it week by week, keep ourselves in check.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a British show, so I'm assuming the seasons are not long. Like, how many episodes roughly is a season?
It really has changed a lot since the 60s. I've learned that, like, there's not nowadays the seasons are 6 or 8 episodes because of streaming. Back in the 60s, the parts, it was televised in serials. So the first 4 to 6 weeks, it would be one story, and then there are 4 or 5 stories in a season. So maybe 25 or 30 episodes per series.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So at what point in the show's chronology did you and your brothers start the podcast?
Well, we started at the very beginning. Very good place to start. So
ludicrous. Who would go back and watch a show 50 years old and talk about it? What a preposterous premise.
It's for madmen.
Loser.
It's a completely different show and just a different art form, it feels like, and the audience that they're going for, just everything is it's almost a different medium, and feels more theatrical, or like they're classically trained British like stage play actors if we're starting in the 60s at the beginning of television. So yeah, I don't know. It's evolved a lot.
Yeah. And what have you learned in watching those older episodes aside from it being a very different show? Like the sensibilities of the show, have they changed, and the overall story has pretty much stayed the same, right? The idea of the story, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, something we joke about on the podcast is that people nowadays complain a lot about like the show isn't as good as it used to be. I mean, this is the case for SNL too, of course.
You've listened to our show?
Once or twice. They are always talking about when Doctor Who was a better show, or reminiscing about something that it never really was. We're learning that like it was always this bad, and we say that from a place of love. Like it's low budget and campy and ridiculous, and always has been. People looking for it to be something else. It's from a place of nostalgia, I think, where they just want to watch some show that they were watching when they were a kid. But it's always like this. So we love all of it from the 60s to the 20s.
And what episode are we airing today? Just catch us up so folks know what we're about to listen to.
This is going to be Planet of Evil, which is the second serial of the 13th season. The fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, is where we are right now. We're about halfway through the classic Doctor Who run. So we've made it through 4 different actors. And this is definitely the most fun. They've kind of come into their own more and more as they've progressed as a show. And by this point with the fourth Doctor, he's a pretty well-known face for the character.
I'm really excited to listen to it. Real quick, I think this is my last question anyway. Where do you watch all of these old Doctor Who's?
So starting out, a lot of them are missing. Like the show is not complete, and there are lost episodes from the 60s. So early on, they were on Tubi, most of the arcs, and then we would have to find a lot of things on Internet Archive with like animated reconstructions that people did from clips and bits that like we have an audio recording and some stills of stories. So putting together anything we can. Thankfully, now we are in 1975. So it's all pretty consolidated in one place. So we just watch them on YouTube now. The Doctor Who YouTube channel posts them there. Yeah.
That's great. Well, everyone's going to enjoy this episode of Reviewing Who with Will and his brothers Pat and Tom Bond. Will, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We really appreciate it. That's why we wanted to, give your show a different platform for folks to check it out, and I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
Thanks. I mean, thanks for letting me do this work. It's a blast. I love editing, and you guys are great. I love the podcast. Thanks for doing what you guys do.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hello and welcome back to Reviewing Who. I am your host, Will Bond.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Thomas Bond. And I'm your other co-host, Patrick Bond.
This is the show Reviewing Who, where we review old episodes of Doctor Who. Well, I shouldn't say old. That has a little connotation to it. classic episodes, golden episodes of Doctor Who.
Classy episodes.
Classy episodes. So today's episode is the second serial of the 13th season. Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor's second season. That's a lot of numbers in a row. But today's episode is also called Planet of Evil. Have we got a jam-packed, action-filled episode to discuss? Pat, what did you think about Planet of Evil?
I thought it was kind of mid. I also do
Tom?
not share Will's sentiment of insanity.
Neither does Will, in earnest.
It kind of reminds me of like the Doctor 2 episodes where they just like stand around all day.
It reminds me of staring at paint on a wall.
I have one quote that I wrote down, and as I was hopping on, I set up my like notes doc, and I was thinking, this isn't even that funny. I think I was just in an adult state of mind watching this.
Oh, this is good. This is a good piece to talk about. Oh.
The quote is,
Comparatively,
this guy says, a man is dead, and the other guy says, dead. Then he says, he was killed by some animal. And the other guy says, animal. Super
Yeah, that
funny.
sums it up.
Guys.
The Fourth Doctor, as always, has some gems. You know, he has some great moments. He has some good
Yeah,
grins.
even he can resurrect a
Yeah.
such subpar is so nice of a term for it.
Totally. And he is really good at balancing the different emotions of the Doctor. Like, he has those funny turns of phrase, but then also can lock in of like what you humans are doing. Like, this is you're playing with things beyond you. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been reading lately. This is a little bit of a tangent. For my
We need those to pad the runtime of this episode.
True. There's nothing we care about more. It's the runtime of our episodes. Utmost importance. So I've been reading for my pre-1800 English literature class about horror and the supernatural. The concept of like weird fiction with a capital W, where it's not a monster or a killer or something that is scary. It's more just like this deeper something is wrong with the universe, and it is beyond our human comprehension or ability to really like articulate it, you know? So with that, like as I've been reading and writing a lot about that kind of stuff, this had a kind of cool lens for me because the Planet of Evil really fits in with that that mindset of like, there's, I forget what the guy's name is who gets possessed in a similar, it's not Voyage of the Damned, is it? But there's that 10th Doctor episode with the big devil. And it was kind of similar to that to me. What do you guys think?
Stuck in an asteroid that like the gravity is too
Yeah.
much to like pull them in. Yeah. I love that episode.
Was this similar to you at all to that?
No. I think
No,
you're just
you
going crazy.
didn't see it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that concept of like, instead of there being like something to fight, just being like there's something wrong, kind of reminds me of the first two episode where it's like
Oh yeah.
the
button
TARDIS
is
is
stuck.
like wrong in such a way, and there's no threat at all, but they're all like at each other's throats because
Yeah.
like, that's such a good episode, dude.
And I do think there's something a lot scarier about that. Or like when
Yeah. There's nothing to fight.
the consciousness from the crystal planet or the Doctor, is it Midnight something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just called Midnight, I think. Yeah, like that's really scary. We don't know what is wrong here, but something is, and we can't really see it, but it's
Yeah.
turning our beloved Doctor against people. Anyway.
And episodes like that are always really interesting because they're more like character driven. Because like it's not like how do we beat this, or it's less about
Yeah.
like how do we like kill this enemy.
And Elizabeth
yeah.
Sladen, who plays Sarah Jane Smith, said this was her favorite arc to film in retrospect because she feels like this is the first time the Doctor and Sarah Jane actually like talk to each other and hang out and have time to like get close. So I think you're right. There's something to that character
I agree
growth.
with that. Especially in like the first like section where it's like, oh, where are we going? And then they accidentally go 300,000 years into the future. Their interactions are great.
For a quick plot summary of this episode, they find a distress call on the planet Zeta Minor, and they discover a geological expedition has fallen prey to an unseen killer, and the only leader, Professor Sorensen, remains alive.
How do you remember these names so well?
Oh, I am reading a Wikipedia page.
Okay. I was like, no way you remember the name Professor Sorensen.
No, I did not. I remembered Salamar because I thought I was thinking about Shalimar the clown. But anyway, the military mission from Morestra, Planet 2, has also arrived to investigate. At first, they suspect that the Doctor and Sarah Jane are responsible for the deaths of the expedition members, but that is not the case. They clear their names after 4 episodes. So the Morestrans take off in their ship, but it's slowly dragged back towards the planet due to the antimatter on board. That's a huge part of this. The Doctor's like, stop messing with antimatter.
Yeah.
Sorensen becomes infected by the antimatter and transforms into an anti-man, a monster capable of draining the life from others. So the Doctor eventually finds the original Sorensen, takes him back to the planet in the TARDIS, throws both him and his samples into the pit, fulfills the bargain he made earlier with the antimatter creature. Sorensen reappears unharmed, and the Doctor returns him to the Morestran ship, which is now freed of the planet's influence.
I think the quote at the end is when the Doctor's like, okay, we must go. After all, we are 8,000 years late for our meeting or whatever. I like that.
Me too.
I'm just pointing us towards the next episode, giving us a little glimmer of hope in our lives. So the next one is named The Pyramids of Mars.
Ooh, isn't that the one that had like the death god in it or something?
Yes, yeah, it's going to introduce Sutek.
Ooh,
Rad.
Yeah.
from the like little glimpses I've seen on like video essays, seems like the CGI or like the practical effects and stuff in that are really something fun. I'm
Okay,
hyped.
cool.
The reviews are surprisingly positive for this episode, with many 4-star and like 3.5-star reviews, which makes me
All right.
mad.
Can you read us one of someone who likes this episode?
Sarah and the Fourth Doctor are well characterized here, though there are only a few lines. The Doctor's memories of Shakespeare, Sarah's half-joking suggestion
I like
that they're
that.
being chased by force sprites that stand out as quotable. This isn't a limitation of Mark's writing abilities. Mandragora is full of cherishable dialogue. Rather, it's an illustration of Planet of Evil's storytelling properties. This is a story about space exploration with a heavy emphasis on the exploration. In place of the usual verbal exposition about Zeta Minor, its environment, and native threats, we get to see people walk around, encountering things and conducting experiments in unusually long, visually rich scenes. This is an area which even modern, allegedly cinematic television rarely ventures into, and the actors seem energized by the challenge. Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen have already proven that they can play these parts, but here they embody them. Read more at Geek Show Patreon.
They have a Patreon for their review, dude.
And it was liked by Graham, who wrote 2 3.5-star reviews.
I was thinking it's funny how they said like refreshingly long or something. Like, dude,
Refreshingly long. I'm imagining that with this guy sitting fingers interlaced over him, just chuckling little by little over the course of the episode. Oh, Doctor. Oh.
That's a great image.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really
what are we
good.
getting ourselves into? Zeta 7. Point.
Yeah, no hate if you like this episode. We won't get mad at you.
Tom will.
Paul
Perfectly
Cornell,
true.
Martin Day, and Keith Topping in 1995 said, for an 8-year-old, this is the most terrifying slice of Who. Now it seems a little ordinary, a simple reworking of classic themes. It is unfortunate that the detailed jungle set is in such sharp contrast to the cheap minimalism of the Morestran spaceship. Is it unfortunate? I didn't mind that part.
I thought that part was rather charming.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I think there is something to that. For an 8-year-old, this is the most terrifying slice of Who. For me, this episode reminded me of that one with the devil, the physical devil, and Waters of Mars a little bit. Just the way people were
Yeah.
getting possessed by this force of evil.
Yeah.
So in terms of these
Waters of-
episodes, 8-year-olds, like, yeah, it probably had a successful effect as those two did for me.
Yeah.
Getting the Jesus out of me.
For me, it was probably the "Are You My Mommy" episode.
Oh, totally.
scary stuff. For weeks after that, I was afraid to sit on a couch because I thought that it would come out of the couch and touch me.
What would the gas
The
mask?
children.
The gas, because if they touch you, you turn into a gas mask child, Tom.
Don't they have to do more than just touch you?
I'm
Just touch.
pretty sure
The
they just
scary
touch
part,
you.
Will, that's the scary part.
Okay.
Whoa.
Everybody lives. Everybody lives. He says in the
Yeah.
middle of World War II.
Nobody is dying today.
You guys have anything else you need to get off your chest to the world at large before
No.
we wrap up the bag of our special Super Bowl Sunday episode of Reviewing Who?
I have endorsed this many a time before, but I'd like to endorse original Star Trek again. It's quite good. As my previous complaint still stands, they pretty much just stay on the ship for like the first season. The
You're
entire
saying
thing
a show
is
from the
on internet.
70s is good?
No
What are you
way.
talking
Ew.
Never on this
Yucky.
70s
podcast.
shows are grody, bruh.
But I watched an episode recently that's the episode that the Purge Planet episode of Rick and Morty. Specifically, this episode of Star Trek is inspired by.
Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
thought it was just inspired by Purge, the idea of a purge in general. But it is like
Yeah, and
almost a
the Purge
one-to-one
movies were probably inspired by that episode of Star Trek.
copy. Yeah, it's quite good.
Squiggo, squiggo.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye now.